Hi friends, this is New York-based attorney Marina Shepelsky, and today's video is how to write a winning VAWA declaration. How to write a story that will win your VAWA case and what kind of evidence, what kind of paperwork to attach to make sure you win. And I'm talking here based on my 20 years of experience filing VAWA petitions. Back from 2002, when I started it, things have changed and a lot more details are required now. So the first rule is to put a lot of detail into your VAWA declaration. And let me, before I get into all the nitty-gritty of it, ask you to please become subscribers to our channel. We work very hard to produce and make these videos for you. We have a big team, so actually we welcome you to call us. It doesn't matter where you live in all the 50 states or even abroad. You can file for VAWA from wherever you live, and you might not even get to talk to me. You'll get to talk to one of our attorneys or legal experts that I personally train and prepare to give consultations, to tell people who qualifies, who doesn't. We are very clear, we're very honest and transparent with people. Our consultations are paid, they cost $230, but we will give you a lot of information and a plan of action if you call and speak to us, okay? So, how to write a winning VAWA declaration. All our declarations are pretty much answers to a specific questionnaire, a list of questions that I email our clients, and then we have our legal assistant go over the answers, right? So usually, generally, we break them up into different parts. We break up the questions that you have to answer for the case into different parts. And, you know, there's topics. So we break them up into usually like 4 or 5 sections, okay? And the sections are background information about the self-petitioner, the person filing this information, okay? Then we get into the relationship with the abusive U.S. citizen or green card holder spouse. How did you meet? Where did you meet? Who introduced you? What kind of work did you do? What kind of work did they do at the time? What was like the date approximately when you met? Who called whom first? Did you speak on the phone? Did you text each other? What did you think of them when you met them? What did they think of you based on what they said? How did you begin dating? When was your first kiss and sexual experience? Then how did you decide to move in together as a married couple under the same roof? Or maybe you were still dating when you moved in together. When did you move in? Who was living with him or her at that time? Who were you living with at that time? What kind of stuff did you bring with you to your new place? Did you get a new apartment together, or was this their place that you moved into, or maybe they moved in to your place that you had before? What about the lease situation? Who is your landlord? Where do you live, building or private house? Okay, so we got through background and dating information. Then about the marriage. Who proposed to whom? Did you have a wedding? Did you have a big ceremony? Did you have any guests? Did you have a celebration party? Or was it small? Who was there? Who were your witnesses? How did you know them? Did your family come? Why not? What about your religions? What about your culture? And then the next section is abuse. How did the abuse begin? At first, it's usually things that somebody's saying to you. Did you grow up in an abusive environment? Did your parents abuse you? Did your dad abuse your mom? Did you grow up around drugs or alcohol? Did your spouse or is your spouse now abusing drugs and alcohol? Was that part of the abuse? What about their family situation? Did they grow up with an abusive environment? Who took care of the kids? Who lived, if the kids lived with you or not? If they didn't live with you, why not? If your spouse had kids from another relationship, did you see them? Did you visit them? Did they ever see their ex-spouse? Did they cheat on you? What happened? When things changed for the worst? What are like a couple of really bad stories? And I know this is going to be super hard for you to write, but we're doing this for your benefit. And then we break up the abuse section into psychological abuse and physical abuse, if there was physical abuse. Maybe there was financial abuse. We'll ask you very detailed question, like if they destroyed your property, if they controlled your bank account, if they smashed anything you own, if they restricted you from working or going to school, if they controlled your money, if they didn't let you speak to family and friends. Talk about this in detail. What they said, how did they make you feel, how did you react, what did they look like, where were you embarrassed, were you humiliated, were you upset, were you sad? All these words should be in your story. Did they gaslight you, meaning something bad happened and they convinced you that it wasn't what it was, that you were stupid and wrong to think that this was abuse, that something is wrong with you. It's not them who are abusing, it's you who is stupid. They deny the problem and blame you for bringing it up or causing it or deserving it, okay? They make you feel like you deserve to be treated badly. They make you feel like you don't deserve to be in a good relationship. They tell you there's nothing special about you. You're illegal, you're stupid, you're ugly, and so on and so on and so on. What kind of emotional abuse did you experience? Did you ever feel undervalued? Did you ever feel not desired? Did you ever feel bad or stupid or dirty or stinky or whatever? They made you feel this way. Was there verbal abuse? Was there financial abuse? Was there physical abuse? In which ways was your spouse aggressive? I'm looking at my questionnaires to keep talking about it. In what way were they abusive to you? Did they use a weapon? Did they threaten you with a knife? Did they ever put something to your head? Did they ever force you into a sexual situation that you didn't like? So all of this goes into the questionnaire, and then we finish up with a section about your good moral character. If you've never been arrested, that's great. You will have to present police clearances. If you are now helping other people deal with bad marriages, or maybe you're involved in a community organization, or maybe you help people. You can describe a couple of situations where you help somebody in a tough spot. Now, are you involved with any religious organizations? It would be nice to get a letter from church that you go to. For abuse, we ask you to get your psychologist to write you a letter or a report. Witness letters from people who can say they've seen you as a married couple, you acted as a married couple, but then maybe they also saw something that related to abuse, even if they didn't see abuse directly. For example, your job, your employer can write a letter that you came to work with bruises or upset or crying, or there was something you shared with somebody at work or with a friend. All of these things go into your declaration, but also should be supported by witness letters, police clearances. If your spouse was arrested for what they did to you, you also can include their police records, their arrest records. I have sometimes clients taking pictures at home of the drugs, of the alcohol, of the pills they have at home. All of this is related and should be included in your case to make it a winning VAWA case. And you can put whatever you want in it. The threshold, the standard of evidence for VAWA is so high that you can include anything that supports any of these elements that I mentioned, from good moral character to living together to abuse. Anything from outside of you, like police records or psychologist records or police clearances, or maybe you had to change a lock, maybe some community organization helped you move, anything like that. Maybe you went to counseling, maybe you have your personal doctor write a letter that you got your sexually transmitted disease from your spouse, or that you're going through something medically and your spouse never came with you to the office, never supported you, never did anything right by you. Things like that win VAWA cases. Even if you don't have an order of protection or a police report for their arrest or anything like that, you can win. We win these kinds of cases every day. If you're going through this, if you recognize yourself in these situations, give us a call. We can help.